what the big deal about Cracker Jack is. Did you ever go and buy a pack of Cracker Jack thinking you're going to get a prize and find no prize in the box?
You got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me.
Freehand is beating his net at the plate. Crawford is over there watching. Good see, sir. You're in the wrong seat, buddy. Come on. Oh, I must be in the front row.
We're not done with your White Sox.
No, now we got good news. We got good news.
We'll see.
I laid the gauntlet on how dumb sports radio was being about the Sox moving to Indiana on the idea that Justin Ishbia wasn't getting involved in eventually buying the team to move them to Indiana. He was going to find a way to keep them in Chicago and use his money to do so. Mm-hmm. Now, I thought, to your point, I did not call the location correctly. I thought he would
have. I don't think anyone would have seen
West
that coming.
Loop. But apparently Chicago's game for making the area around the 78 where the soccer stadium is going into this mega attraction area for downtown Chicago, because he is under contract to purchase a 47-acre Amtrak rail yard right across the street from the 78 along the Chicago River. I mean, you want to talk about beautiful area for baseball. It doesn't look that way now, but I mean, wow.
We talked about it 2 years ago now when the original renderings for the 78 came out, and it would seem perfect, right in the South Loop there. You got the skyline right there. You could actually you could decide to build the stadium facing the right direction finally to show the skyline, which they failed to do in the late 80s and early 90s. This is a directly adjacent, right across the river from the 78, which no one ever considered that to be a potential landing spot because Amtrak owns it. It's a giant rail yard, which I know intimately well. Every time I've come into Chicago via Amtrak from Michigan, I've gone right through the middle of that property. And every time I've gone out to the western suburbs to visit friends, the Metro line goes right through the center of that property and then out west. So there's some logistical questions going on that I've got for this, like how this is going to work. It's under contract. So this is happening. Ishbia is buying this property. It has been assumed it is for a White Sox stadium. I don't think that's actually been reported. Like that's been confirmed. I don't know what else you'd do it, why you would buy that, but I think it makes perfect sense. This is the location for the new stadium. I don't think that's been confirmed. But the real question I have is, how long is this going to fucking take to get a stadium built on a property that's it's in use right now, and it affects people every day, millions of people every day, including freight train, like the BNSF is like the largest freight train company in the world or in the United States. So that runs right through that area too. So are they going to first question, are they going to build the stadium on top of the railways? Do you think like it'll be up kind of in the air somehow? Like
well, the part that he's buying though is the rail yard where and when you look at the picture, the yard area is basically unused by that. That's why they're looking to sell it.
This is why I've been through this 100 times, more than 100 times. The rail yard is on both sides of these rail lines, the Amtrak and the Metro. When you come in and out of Union Station, you go right through the middle of this rail yard. There's empty tracks, old trains that they're working on, all sorts of tracks on both sides. So the useful lines every day that are being used are right in the center of this property. So you could reroute those, I guess, around the edges, but. And I've heard that the bulk of the rail yard, the extra tracks that aren't being used constantly, but are used for maintenance and on train stuff, that's supposedly moving a mile south, which ironically enough, I think it puts it right near Sox Park, existing Sox Park. I don't know how far a mile is from the yard, but I don't know. I think it's clear, obvious he's buying this to put the White Sox there, but I think it could be 10 years before we actually see a stadium or play a game there, because you've got all the infrastructure you have to remove and remove and or readjust. Whereas, if they had just bought the 78, that's an undeveloped park, basically. It's all that you can start. I mean, the soccer team started building on it this spring. So this is going to be a long process. I think it would be fucking awesome eventually, but are we going to be alive by the time this is finished? Like, I think it's got to be a 10-year plan.
Yeah, I have no idea, because that's not my area of expertise, infrastructure and building on top of rail yards. So I would imagine that he's purchasing it with the idea that somehow there's a way to get something done in time when this current contract runs out, or there is a way to do some sort of minor extension until the stadium's done. But
I think they have to, because when did we say the lease was out?
5 years. I think it's 5 years from now, 4 years from now.
Yeah, it's coming up. So I think if they were building on the 78 right now, that would be doable. But yeah, I think there's going to be some kind of lease extension to keep them in Sox Park, current Sox Park, for a while. I like this idea. I think it would have, the new stadium would have to be called Sox Yard instead of Sox Park, since it's being built on a rail yard. What do you think of that branding?
Oh, I don't know. Comiskey Yard?
Oh God. Reinsdorf Yard?
Reinsdorf Yard, yeah. where dogs go to poop.
I just like the yard aspect.
Yard.
So we will be hearing more about that for the next decade or so, I think. So that'll be fun to pay attention to. But wheels are in motion, finally, with Sox ownership and a real piece of property to potentially move your stadium.
Chugga, chugga, choo, choo.
Congrats.
Yes.
Post-game show is brought to you by Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it.
One guy poured beer all over my head. The guy said, "How can you take that?" I said, "Look, that man didn't do nothing. He poured some beer on my head. He's just showing he's a White Sox fan. There ain't nothing wrong with that."
Sparky, a million thanks for, as always, the most interesting interview. And now today, let's just have a lot of thrilling baseball and not so many fisticuffs.
We're at home.